Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize Podcast, the podcast where we talk about Marvel movies, merchandise, comics, and more. I am your host, Chris, a Boingo Writer Gasson, and with me, as always, in this bullpen is my compatriot in this podcast.
Representing the distinguished competition, the Vacuuminator is here.
Alrighty, all right. You did you did the gag, you did the thing. Are you proud of
Yeah,
yourself? Are you proud of yourself?
a little bit,
All
a
right,
little
cool.
bit.
Sir, this is Wendy's.
Fuck you.
Oh boy, well, we got things to talk about this episode, don't we?
There's like one or two things. There's a couple. There's a few. There's a grouping.
We got at
There's always
least
a
12
few.
comics to talk about.
And Drippy's here to shitpost, so it's always gonna be a rollicking good time.
Yeah, Paprika. I need to watch that movie.
Me too.
Satoshi Kon.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
only Satoshi Kon film I've actually seen is Tokyo Godfathers.
yeah. That's another. I just need to watch some more Kon.
Yeah. Some of those more seminal classical Japaneseical movies.
No, we'll know when Beck is actually too drunk to be here. He'll be falling out of his chair.
That has happened.
Yeah. But in the meantime, V Boy, Veep Boy, Veep Boy.
Am I a fucking Digimon now?
How was your comic booky week?
It was.
All right,
This
cool.
is alright. It's okay. Huh.
But yeah,
Tragedy in the making, Drippy. It's near completed at this point, I'd say.
yeah. So we got to talk about the final episode of What If.
Do we have to, or do you just want to?
Well, we made this whole podcast because I want to talk about this shit. So functionally, we have to.
Oh, okay, yeah, that does make sense.
So what if number 9? I can't remember the actual name of the episode. Hold on.
What if the Watcher broke his oath?
So what if the Watcher was the Watcher?
Yeah. What if we finally got Watu to the Watu we all know and make fun of?
Yeah, it's an endearing made fun of because like if he didn't interfere as much as he did, like nothing. Marvel would.
616 would have been fucked 9 times over by now, at
Yeah,
least.
yeah, and like the other Watchers aren't pissed at him. It's just more of like, okay, you're the Oathbreaker. You do all the fucking shit that we don't want to deal with. Can you do that? Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, that kind of a thing.
But in the last episode, they did the Marvel thing where they
I
went like,
just I just fucking realized Watu is the doctor.
yeah, yeah. Uatu is the Doctor if he had the Prime Directive, and he could just
Yeah.
completely ignore the Prime Directive.
Mm. He's a lot of sci-fi tropes. A lot of sci-fi characters are very similar.
A lot of it's almost as if Uatu's just been around for a fucking long time, and a lot of people took inspiration from him.
Drippy, are you sure you're not talking about me there?
Yeah. Like how many fucking Galactus parodies are there?
There's a few,
Yeah.
like
Uh,
9.
but at the end of the last episode, they did the Marvel thing where they were like, "Oh, hey, all these disparate little parts, they're leading up to a cool climax. Get hype."
And I was like, but I thought we weren't. I'm not hype.
And then
No.
this episode happened, and it's just one full climax, and I thought it was cool.
It was fine.
If you separate it from the one of this to just be a pure anthology, it is a neat concept.
I didn't I didn't hate it. I'll put
Right.
it that way. Like it was executed about as well as it could be. There were things I enjoyed. I loved that we got to check in with Captain Carter again, and like, yes, it makes total sense that her and Nat would be BFFs in the future. And and I'm sure there's already shit tons of fan fictions about them. Um, uh,
Also, Steve in her universe is basically the Winter Soldier.
yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Um, fucking I'll tell you one thing that did really bug me though. This fucking Gamora just comes out of nowhere. I wish we
Yeah,
had gotten an episode setting her up.
that would have been cool, but also it's just like, what the fuck happened in her universe that made her? And it's just like, what the fuck? It's cool. Just think
Mm,
about.
yeah, fair enough. And I mean,
Especially
we
like
could
that's the
still get her
car.
in.
That's the car Tony Stark.
Yeah, we still could get them in season 2 now. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. And like the way they interacted with each other was all was fun. It was just cool to see
Hmm. I don't
because
like the name.
no, because they had the perfect name and they didn't fucking use it. They're the fucking Exiles.
Yeah, Guardians of the Multiverse just sounds like you want something MCU normies will be comfortable with.
Yeah, no. Because here's the thing, and they could even branch it off of like the Avengers, because the Avengers is a silly name. It's like, what are they do? What the Avengers?
Mhm.
Defenders? Like, no Marvel team name makes sense other than like New Warriors, Champions, and X-Men.
Yeah.
So go like, if you all fail, you will all be exiles of the multiverse, and name them
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Drippy, that's a weird confession to make on a fucking Marvel stream. I'm just gonna say it right there.
Yeah,
My sympathies with you though. Uh,
X8's good though. X like genuinely, if you were trying to get into Kamen Rider, I say double O's or X8. Those are the three to
yeah,
try.
yeah, X8's good times. I remember about 15 episodes into X8. I had a friend who was just a big gamer, and I was like, "Hey, you want to watch this fucking show?" And I just sat them down and we watched the first 15 episodes in like a day, and then he would just come over every week to watch the new episode with me that whole year.
That was cool.
Yeah,
But the team of that we're I'm just gonna call them Exiles because
yeah,
that's what they
they're
are.
they're the Exiles. I don't care what the fuck you want to put on a T-shirt.
Is the Doctor Strange, Cthulhu Doctor Strange, best way to put it.
Yeah.
Party Thor.
I think they're officially calling him Dark Doctor Strange.
That's too long. Dark Doctor. Captain Carter, Party Thor, Black Panther, Killmonger, Star Lord T'Challa, and Super Gamora.
Conqueror Gamora?
We'll figure it out.
I don't know her official name.
Yeah,
I'm sure she has one.
and eventually we also get two other members of the team. Three, if you want to count one person. We get post-apocalyptic Natalia and zombie Scarlet Witch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm considering her part of the team, and then you had Zola.
As much as I hated that episode, I did think that was a great callback.
Oh, that's the perfect like. It was they wanted to do this anthology series, and I think this is just hey, we just want to do a dumb episode making callbacks to all the things in weird, interesting ways.
You know, Watu was like, hey, Steven, there's this place, fucking zombies. You should just
You
dump
make
them
sure
on
you
there."
use this universe with the zombies and not that universe. That universe zombies are fucked.
Oh
Don't touch
yeah,
them. These
don't
we
get
can
us
deal
to,
with. The others
do
no.
not bring the depression zombies into this.
Bring them. But yeah, no, Scarlet Witch got to be part of the team technically.
Yeah, good for her.
Um, I like the whole vibe of like how they immediately was like, no, we gotta fucking work together. No fucking bullshittery.
Until Eric inevitably betrayed everyone, which I thought was kind of stupid.
It fits the version of the character that they showed in the anthology.
Yeah, but I was still just like, oh, this is obvious.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also it was kind of that was done more for the character of Dark Doctor.
Yeah, they kind of made two universes just fall on their sword. in order to give Dark Doctor a happy ending.
It's not even a
And
happy
then
ending. It's more of like a cathartic ending of like
you have something to do.
you have something to do, and you recognize the folly of your past, and you are trying to make amends. I hate to put it that way, but it's more of like he recognized what he did in his universe was bad, and he saw an opportunity to do good, and was like, "All right, I'm gonna do good." And then the Watcher just basically went like, "Yeah, but you kind of need to
Watch
keep."
this snow globe.
And the Doctor goes like, "You know what? Yeah, I made my bed. I'm gonna sleep in it."
Uh, so I get it, and I didn't hate it, but I did think it was kind of like just last minute out of left field that like, and here's a happy ending for Wasteland Natasha.
But it's also a happy ending for what if the Earth's Mightiest Heroes never were?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was basically like throughout this whole series we got
That was that universe?
yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just a random universe
No,
he
no,
opened
no.
up.
That's the universe.
Okay, because he just says this universe's Black Widow died, so I thought that was the only thing
And
wrong
the
with that
only heroes that were
universe.
fighting were Nick Fury, Captain America, and Captain Marvel, which were the only three heroes of that universe.
Okay, I missed context clues then. That the fact that it's that universe specifically, again, much like the Marvel Zombies thing, I'm like, yeah, fuck that episode, but that's a cool callback.
I think the best way to think of this episode is like they did the full what if thing for the rest of the series of like we're gonna end on a downer, like how the comics are. That's how the comics work. Downers, things don't work out the way they should. Worst timeline. And then
And now,
this episode was for the normies going like, "Hey, everything's not that bad."
yeah, this episode was for Buster. Too bad they couldn't be here to talk about it.
Yeah. Who knows what but
Nice.
Gundam's
Nice,
always been
Drippy. Very
depressed.
nice.
Yeah. But everybody gets their happy ending. Steve is for Carter and all that kind of stuff. I like the callbacks to uh Steve in like Endgame and Infinity War of
Yeah.
like do I get to have my happy ending kind of thing.
Hmm.
I like it was cute. It worked. It just shows like they are two people perfectly made for each other.
Yeah. Fuck you, people who hate that post-credit scene.
That post credit scene was amazing.
Yeah.
Cause now I just want like a 5 issue miniseries of just that, of just like all the way up till Infinity to Endgame of them just being the ultimate Marvel power couple.
Like, goddamn, how have we not fucking gotten a show about Peggy actually found a show, a special, a movie, a fucking comic? Just give me something about Peggy actually founding Shield in this universe.
I
Because
mean, there
they,
was the Agent Carter show.
but that was dicking around doing something else for 2 seasons, and I
Yeah,
did like that show. I like that show a lot, but I was still every season by the end of both seasons. By the end of it, I was just like, so we're doing the founding of Shield next year, right?
yeah. Uh, I like also they showed the end of T'Challa Star Lord's universe, and he's teaming up with Peter Quill. And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I immediately want to see them as a buddy cop brother duo in that universe. And like T'Challa just goes like, "Yo, dude, I don't. You're cool. Let's hang out. Let's be friends."
That would be interesting.
And you know that'd be just and like everyone of T'Challa's family, Yondu and his Black Panther family, and like everybody just goes like, "I'm not a fan of that Peter guy. He seems like a bad influence on you." And he busts through the doors like, "I found fucking Space Slim Jims." T'Challa, fucking Space Slim Jim? Yes, they are very good. Slim Jims, though.
T'Challa, meet my raccoon friend. I'm not a raccoon.
Well, you look like a raccoon. What can I call you? Rocket. Rocket Raccoon. I hate you.
uh,
And this is his friend, Moot. I am Groot. Groot.
hell yeah.
Pe-
All that
T'Challa,
being
what do you
said,
see in him? He's funny.
He's the embarrassing college friend. Like his wife just barely tolerates them going out and hanging out once a month.
Yeah. And then from the other universe, fucking Party Thor comes out and goes, "Yo, what's up, bros?"
Uh, I'm not sure if that's a question, Drippy. You didn't put a question mark at the end of it, so I'm not going to answer it properly. Um,
Yeah, no, it was just climax and fight. I love how fucking Doctor Strange was MVP and just did all the fucking bullshit.
yeah, he's very much the powerhouse. And you know, like, as much as I begrudgingly like this episode, I will say, don't fucking reference it next season. Just move on with Watu like almost nothing happened. Maybe Watu's a bit more cautious next season, so shit like Ultron doesn't happen again, but that would be it. Please and thank you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind like know what I wouldn't mind. Every once in a while, you get a fucking like quip from Doctor Strange that goes like, "Hey, Watu, what's going on?" Oh, sorry, Strange. Let me explain. And that's the why Watu does the episodes from now on, because he's looking at and they're trying to keep each other entertained.
Every episode of season 2, Uatu's speeches are to Doctor Strange, not the viewer.
So, Steven,
Get a load of this fucking place.
Fuck, dude, that shit. Yeah, man. What about this one? Oh, that's the one where you just break your hands and everybody lives and you get to be a fucking hero. Oh.
Oh. Oh. What about this one? That's the one where the shit that made Daredevil made some turtles into people. It's weird.
Yeah.
Who would think of that? Who would want that?
What about this one? Oh, that's the one where you're dying. Don't worry, there's a younger version of you trying to solve the case.
Here's the one where you're already dead and there's a teenager that took over for you. What?
Here's one where all of you are chibi and tiny and cute and you just do comedy jokes all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this was solid. Solid little episode.
Mm-hmm.
It is not what people expected, though, which I can understand people being perturbed by.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's more like I'm frustrated at myself because I didn't realize they would go this direction, and I spent so much time laughing at other people for theorizing that it was all gonna collide together. I'm just like, God damn it. Why did they have to be right?
Because they weren't right with Mephisto.
It's the universe balancing out.
Yeah. But in the meantime, that's actually that what's let's talk why don't we talk about like what if in general? Like did you think over under good or bad show?
It's definitely a good show. I'd say it's very much a mixed bag, but like the good episodes outweigh the bad, I'd say.
Okay, I agree, but I think I have a little bit higher opinion because I think at worst the shows are okay. None of them are bad. None of the episodes were bad. At worst, they were okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Neat concept. Do you think this should be a continuing thing? Like, do the second season? Do you want them to do more?
The second season is already in production.
No,
so
what
like,
I mean
yeah,
is, like, after the second season, do you want them to do more?
I think they may have to wait a while. Wait for the MCU to make more content for them to mess around with.
Fair enough. So far in Disney Plus shows, where do you rank it?
I haven't even thought about a Disney Plus show ranking because I've enjoyed all of them so much in the moment. Tell you what, overall so far, I'd say best to least good because I don't think there's a worst. I don't think there's any that are outright bad. I'd go Falcon and Winter Soldier is best, then Loki, then WandaVision, then this.
You know what? I can agree. that tracks.
Yeah.
But hold on. We need to talk about some toy news. And
Hell yeah.
And the first thing up is a Red Sonja figure.
Yeah, this is something that actually got announced a few weeks back, and I just completely missed because for some reason none of the news sites I frequent actually posted articles about it. I only saw it on Twitter. This is from a somewhat low-level, newer, online-only direct-to-consumer company. Executive Replicas has been around for a bit. They've done some licensed stuff. They've done some unlicensed stuff. But they most recently gained traction via this female body created by a customizer named Loose Collector, who was really annoyed by the fact that we didn't have a lot of well articulated and also good looking female bodies in the 6-inch scale. So he just went out and made one of his own, and I believe he first sold it as a Lady Death figure. And then after the success of that figure, they were able to go out and buy the license to more characters. Particularly, this whole first wave of these heroes are Dynamite, which consists of Red Sonja, Purgatori, and Vampirella. And I think they all look absolutely fantastic. I've seen some people have complaints about the proportions of the body, but I'm also just like, those proportions are there in the artwork. What do you want?
Yeah, and those proportions can also be modified for other characters if they want.
And I mean, I have no interest in. I know very little about any of the characters they've done with this body so far, but I did watch the Lady Death review, and it just seems like an incredibly well made action figure body. So much so to the point where I'm like, low-key kind of want to pick up one of these. I think I might go for the Red Sonja just because like it's the most it's the character I'm the most familiar with, in that I've seen Red Sonja around the most. I think she has the most history out of any of them, and also I've read the Spider-Man Red Sonja crossover.
I mean, I think Vampirella's been around since the early 70s.
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
I was under the impression that she came around during like the sexy grim fairy tales era.
I don't know. Let's Google it real quick. But yeah, no, they all look good, and they're that kind of like classic. The best way to put it is like that's the kind of comic books that like your comic book uncle would have.
Mm-hmm.
That he goes like, no, those aren't for you. Here's some Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Stay away from these.
Here's the Spider-Man and Red Sonja crossover. Have you read that, by the way?
No.
That book is weird. Because it's like, it's not like Red Sonja gets transported to present day and teams up with Spider-Man. Red Sonja's spirit fucking takes over Mary Jane's body.
I mean, that's a vibe. Oh, I was wrong. She wasn't invented in the 70s.
Oh, when's she from?
1969.
Oh, damn. Okay. She's as old as Kamen Rider.
Yeah, she's a classic.
Damn. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, when you look at her costume, it does have that kind of like we're trying to be sexy in the 60s, late 60s, you know.
Yeah, and Red Sonja is from '73, so like it tracks. These are like
you know what? That'd probably be a really good Red Sonja to have with like a top dollar Conan figure.
Yeah, you could put this next to the who somebody recently made a Conan. I'm trying to think. Oh, Super 7. They made a Conan recently. You could put those two together.
Yeah.
I might do that just because I've always dug the look of barbarians, but I've never been into any barbarian fiction enough to be like, oh, I'm fitting to collect some barbarian figures. Like,
I mean, there's
I
one.
always look at
He-Man.
Yeah, I always look at He-Man and go like, that's a vibe, but I don't feel like I need to own a He-Man.
Yeah. But not talking about He-Man, talking about McFarlane.
Yeah, good old Todd fodder.
We got some DC Multiverse stuff. Amazo virus.
Yeah, I've not read this story. I think it's from Scott Snyder's run, but it is a cool looking suit, and I dig the idea of putting a light up feature in the chest and still keeping that core torso articulation.
Nice. Is this from Contagion?
It's from no, it's from the Amazo virus is the name of the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Is
I
that a
believe this.
Mazo a robot?
I don't know what the fuck Amazo is anymore. They've changed him and rebooted him so many goddamn times to try and make him more relevant in the last few years when he's literally should just be the fucking vision of the DC universe.
Did you know the Vision's actually the second Vision? There was a Golden Age Vision.
I didn't actually. That's interesting.
Yeah. But no, it looks cool. Is neat.
Yeah, it's a decent little design. It's one of those alternate costumes that I'm like, I wouldn't pick this up unless I was gonna go hardcore on Batman collecting.
Oh, speaking of hardcore Batman collecting, Batman Who Laughs 4-pack with a couple Joker crows.
So
Uh,
this honestly kind of pisses me off because okay, do you know the history of this?
the figure or the character?
The figure.
No, why?
So, last year, towards the start of the Multiverse line, we got Batman Who Laughs as a single release, $20.
Mm-hmm.
Then, about 6 months after that, they released the Robin Crow for $20 as a regular Multiverse release. But the thing about it was because there's three different Robin Crows in the comic, Todd released it with three different randomly packed head sculpts. There was no way to identify it in systems or anything. You just had to hunt for the three different head sculpts. And it was $20 a pop. Now, as part of the Walmart Collector Con, here's all of them in one box for $40.
Hmm.
Like
If you break
the
all of those elements apart, some of them make sense. It's like, okay, cool. Robin Crow with the different heads. What if they're all in different boxes? Okay, that's a fun, neat idea. Each one's a little bit different. There's no way to tell them apart. Oh, but hey, we're re-releasing them all together. Nice for
but
$40.
it's
Oh, so all the people who spent 60 just to get all three of them are shit out of luck.
yeah, it's like the McFarlane Toys Store.com releases of the Build-A-Figure waves in just a nice big box set. I can get behind those because he's doing them within a month of the actual wave release. But this, where it's like 6 or 7 months later now, it just comes off as a big middle finger to collectors.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't own any Play Arts Kai Drippy. Do you back?
Neither do I. I believe those are 8-inch scale, and it's mostly video game characters who I don't care about. Although there was a long time where I kept going back and forth on buying the Spike Spiegel they did.
They also did a Batman. I've seen the Batman.
Yeah, I've seen a review of it. It's nice. Like, I can respect what Play Arts Kai puts down. It's just never been enough to get me to actually buy something.
Yeah,
Though I think they did do a Supergirl, so I might have to buy that at some point.
of course, of course.
Let me Google that real quick to make sure,
No,
because I'm curious now.
Play Arts Kai always.
Oh God.
What?
It's like a weird fucking Nomura design. It's not based off of anything in particular, and she looks like a
Send
weird.
over Discord so we can
She,
show it to the class.
yeah, she looks like a weird fucking China doll. What the hell?
I mean, that's what all the DC figures were. They were redesigns.
I mean, I did giving her a big fucking sword, but that's about the only thing about this design I like.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Also, something about the shape of the bust doesn't sit right with me.
It is exactly what I thought it would be. Please don't tell me that, Drippy. Don't make me disappointed.
See, the thing is, though, like, if Jobby does, I feel like it's probably for a meme.
I like the design in and of itself. I can understand not liking it as a representation of Supergirl.
Yeah.
And
The face also
that's not Namora. This isn't Namora.
okay.
I can tell you that much. That's not a Namora design.
It looks vaguely Final Fantasy-esque to me.
Yeah,
That's why I
here's the
said
thing. That's
no.
not General Final Fantasy isn't Namora. Namora is Kingdom Hearts. The World Ends With
Oh,
You, Final Fantasy 15 specifically. The Chaos Final Fantasy one is like, let's go kill Chaos with the Limp Bizkit.
the crap shit.
It's a
Cr cr
taste.
cr cringy 14-year-old into 2000 shit.
It's not cringy. It's just there.
Keep telling yourself that.
Hey, the World Ends With You is fucking banger. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, you're literally the only person I've ever heard talk about it.
Several people have talked about it.
Name five.
Do you want me to fucking find 5 video game
Yeah.
reviews of it? Because I
He
can.
just starts spamming the chat.
Stop it with the jobby.
Yeah, Drippy, get off that line of conversation or I'm gonna have to time you out.
But we got McFarlane Multiverse, the wave for Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, this is like the exact opposite of the Batman Who Laughs thing. This actually got me kind of hype. And I'm saying that as somebody who hasn't actually read Dark Knight Returns yet. And like I've always been semi-critical of people making figures of it just because it's one of the more it's one of the first really adult Batman stories. So I've always been like, all right, I understand you're trying to market directly to collectors, but still these are action figures and like it's going to end up on a retail shelf. That's kind of questionable because you never know who was going to grab that for little Timmy. But then all that goes out the fucking window when Todd says three magical words to me. Build a horse.
Yeah, no, it's a vibe. It works.
Yeah. I like legit I want to get all these just to have the fucking horse. I'll throw the rest of them in a bin and just put someone else I'll put someone else on the fucking horse cuz it just looks like a great horse toy.
Nice.
And we don't have enough like 1/12 scale horses going around right now. Like there's a Figma one, and I believe Mythic Legions just did one, but those are semi hard to get a hold of. This is going to be like on retail shelves and semi plentiful.
Yeah, it looks good. Uh, Next thing though, Marvel Legends 20th anniversary line, Captain America. We're probably the theory of we're getting the first Toy Biz wave again. I think it's starting to track, isn't it?
Yeah, this is actually really cool. Really nice start to the week last week because Wade of Unparalleled Universe, a reviewer I casually follow, got to actually unveil this, and it seems like probably the best Captain America release they've done so far because it's on their 80th anniversary Captain America body. But it's two new heads, a new shield, new effects pieces for that shield, and a entirely different paint scheme that brings way lighter colors, much better shading, and they also threw straps onto the side of it to make him walking around with the shield on his back look better. And it comes with a classically styled Marvel Legends base. With an illustration based off of a diorama piece from the Toy Biz line.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm honestly super hyped for this. I have a Captain America, but I would describe it as a good enough Captain America as far as Marvel Legends go. So and like I've always low key wanted to upgrade it to 80th anniversary Captain America. This honestly looks better than 80th anniversary Captain America to me. I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna upgrade to this guy when it comes out. The only issues I have with it are one, you can't see it in this photo, but there's actually holes in the shield because of the way the effects parts work. So you can't really display him with just the shield unless you hide those holes somehow or have it on his back. Um, and two, this is the first single release Marvel Legends to really be damaged by the impending toy price hikes that have been going on due to shipping issues and whatnot. So this is going to retail for $31.49 compared to the $19.99 that Marvel Legends have been retailing for the past 5 years.
Yeah. It may also just because it's trying to be an anniversary thing that they're doing a little bit more pricey thing.
It's entirely possible.
And Drippy, I don't know if we're ever going to do an anime podcast. I wouldn't say no to that.
That would require me to watch anime.
Yeah, because out of anybody in this, in like our little group, I watch anime, but not like a super ton of it. It's just because I read more manga.
I mean, all of us, everyone in Modular has seen a fair amount of anime, but I don't think any of us watch it regularly.
The only thing I'm watching semi-regularly right now is Digimon Ghost Stories, and that's just because fucking Digimon, and I'm on a Digimon kick.
Yeah, I do want to watch Ghost Stories after it wraps up, because everybody's been being fairly positive about it, but
I mean, there's only been 2 to 3 episodes right now. The first one's fucking really good.
I'm just having a hard time keeping up with weekly stuff as is because I gotta watch all the fucking tokusatsu. I gotta read as many fucking comics as I can, and I gotta watch all the damn wrestling. So like,
and whatever Marvel thing we need to watch.
Yeah, so don't ask me to watch anime, current fucking anime on top of that.
And then maybe we could do. You know what we could do? Retro anime.
We could.
Like,
I'd be down to talk about, like, Cowboy
shit.
Bebop or Gurren Lagann or, like, the odd Ghibli film.
Do a podcasty version of, like, Anime Abandoned, but it's us and not Bennett.
Yeah. Maybe we could start incorporating that as, like, a regular thing on components.
I like components being freeform. I like it just being a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, like with the with the top 5 episodes we're about to start doing, and the fact that we want to incorporate guests, it's like, yeah, we're already going close enough to reverting back to the idea of
AF.
Analytical fanboys. So definitely don't want to do it there, but also if it's gonna be another show, I don't have time to do that regularly. So that would have to be like a you run thing or maybe a Buster run thing. And I just pop in every once in a while when you guys are talking about something I've seen.
And there's also the other podcast's idea I've been batting around, and I've told you about it. But I don't have anybody to do it with, so.
Yeah. But thanks for an actual legit good idea, Drippy. We'll definitely consider it in the future.
Also, if we do more anime, that just makes us even more of a bootleg trash taste.
Yeah. I just start the next episode of Components like, so boys, I fucking front-loaded my list with Yoko Kanno.
Yeah, that's a big thing about a lot of online digital creation is if everybody's not available to do a thing, it's not as good.
I mean, that's definitely evident in this week's Components.
Yeah. Because once everybody was in there, it just fucking was like banger.
But should we talk about the rest of the toys?
Yeah, so we got a image of Kate.
Yeah, because we kind of skipped over to reveal this a few weeks ago, and I felt bad about that. But just to confirm, the Marvel Unlimited exclusive Kate Pryde is out there and in hands, and it is 90% reuse. The only new thing on that figure is the head sculpt.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But it's good that Hasbro is getting more Kates out there, because for the longest time, all you had was that evergreen sort of
Shadow
astonish. It was based off Astonishing, because it's this body, but with a classic Kate head, and they just called it Kitty Pryde, and I believe it was in the Apocalypse wave. And I saw that thing in person at a vintage toy store last week. Want to guess how much it's going for right now?
50.
60.
I was close.
and that's loose without the Build-A-Figure piece. So definitely need to dilute the market a little bit. And you know what? I did not buy that, and I'm glad I didn't buy that, and I'm glad I missed out on this because I want Red Queen Kate. Give me Kate with the big damn pirate coat, please.
Yes. Yes. But we also got another Marvel Legends look at. Some posts on Twitter. Stealth Suit Captain Carter.
Yeah, this was revealed just a few hours after the final episode of What If came out because Captain Carter is sporting the stealth suit in that episode. And you know what? I think it's totally fine. It's a simple and easy repaint to do, and it's also not going to be part of a regular wave. It's a one-off Target exclusive like the other Disney Plus offshoot things. Like that's another thing. Fucking Mobius is showing up like crazy this week. Somebody posted a photo today of just like two whole pegs at Target filled up with Mobius figures.
Come on, Mobius is a cool character. People should just get Mobius.
Hmm.
I mean, come on, he's Mobius.
I
Wow.
mean, I'm sure he'll move off the pegs. It's just like that person probably got there right after they were put on the shelf.
But then we got some Diamond Select Marvel Collectibles shown off.
Yeah, because New York Comic Con was this week, and the Hasbro's opting out of that because they've got Hasbro PulseCon coming up. But there was a fair few things from Diamond there. I don't know if any of this is new because I don't keep up with Diamond a whole lot, but I figured I'd put it in here because you might want to get a look at it. I'm looking now. I don't think any of these selects are new because they had the Watcher on display, which is an old ass figure, but they reissued it because of What If, and that Human Torch just came out. Or no, wait, that's not the Select Human Torch. That's a statue of the Human Torch. What the heck?
Yeah, no, like legit. This is just making me go like, oh, this is the uncle who has a comic book collection. This is his office stuff.
Hmm.
This is just that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Also, mini mates because apparently mini mates are still a thing.
Yeah, I like the fucking tiny Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, like, I don't hate statues like I used to. It's just at a point of total apathy with me now where I'm like, I don't get the appeal.
I mean, there are like a few anime statues that I go like, okay, that'd be cool to have, mainly because that's not a character that will ever get a posable figure.
Mhm. Freaking Trash Tastes Mike Wazowski statue.
Genuinely, the Trash Taste episode where they got figures to fucking decorate the set made me go like, you know what? Maybe there is some value in statues.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting because like statues make for good background fodder. I'll give them that. They look nice and they tend to stand out better than actual action figures do.
There's only like I do know one set of figure statues I want, which is it's One Piece, but it's like it's all the crew of the time in a very specific pose from one of the covers or one of the art inserts,
It's cool that they made that.
and it's just all of them in that pose. And if you get them all, you can pose them like put them together in that pose, like in
Hell
the right
yeah.
place, and like their bases interlock in that way, so it looks like the cover.
That's kind of like how somebody just recently, it's not based off of a particular image, but somebody just recently did a collection of Power Rangers statues that could all like connect together. It was the entire original Mighty Morphin team, both Green and White Ranger, and there was like a Zordon statue. And the base of each of the statues was a piece of the command center. So you put them all together, and it was like a big command center diode.
I'm seeing if I can because like most things I would want for like showing off a character or a thing are like they're posable, they're figurines, they're things like that, or they're like model kits,
Yeah.
you know. I can't see it. I just did a good quick Google to see if I could find it, the one I was thinking of, and I'm not seeing it. But like, there's some good fucking statues from One Piece. I mean, like, look at this Jinbei.
Waiting for it to load.
Yeah, I know you're waiting for it to load. That's why I'm letting
Yeah,
you
but the
get.
listeners don't, so I have to say it.
Yeah. I mean, that's look at this Jinbei. He's cool. Jinbei's a dope character. Really like him.
Oh, it's on the stream. Oh, honestly, that is not the kind of character I envisioned when you said the name Jinbei.
He's a whale shark merman.
All right.
Yeah, no, the fishmen, which is a species in One Piece, are all like one part man, one part fish. So like you have an octopus guy, you have a sawtooth shark guy. He's a whale. He's a whale shark.
Good for him.
Yeah, he also knows fishman karate. He's actually probably the best practitioner of the martial art.
All right.
And he is the Straw Hat Crew's helmsman. He's the one who steers the ship. But there's also like a lot of interesting racism in the One Piece world about fishmen. It's really cool. One Piece is good, y'all. Read One Piece.
There's a lot of interesting racism in the One Piece world. Somebody make like an artsy Photoshop of Boingo with that quote. Post it on r/modular media by the time we do the next episode of this show, and you'll win a prize. I'm not going to tell you what the prize is till next week, though.
But hint, it's in the name of the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, tell me about Almost American.
Almost American issue 2 was alright. I feel like this book is already kind of running out of steam, to be honest. Because, like, it's not bad. It's just painfully obvious that this is either going to read way better together, or perhaps read way better as a script for a movie.
Yeah.
Because this issue has cool stuff going on it, like the two Russian spies are being interrogated by both I'm trying to remember what fucking bureau the first guy's from.
KGB?
But no, he's not from KGB. It's two American embassies, because remember, they're trying to defect.
Defect to America, aren't they?
Yeah. Because there's one
So if they're
guy...
coming from Russia, they're from the KGB.
Oh, yeah. But the KGB spies are talking to this one guy from some American agency I don't fucking remember, and then an FBI agent comes in and takes over, and like there's some interesting interplay with that. And we also get Alexei telling his life story in more detail than we had seen in the first issue, and like it's still interesting stuff. It's still like a compelling backstory. It's just like, yeah, all right. And we also get a scene afterwards where him and his wife are talking about how they're starting to get bored because all they do is tell the Americans the same thing over and over again. And she's like, I think we need a break. What do you mean? We need some fun. And so they get the government agents to take them to Coney Island, which is really fun because Alexei just looks like, I'm not excited to be here, but my wife is, so I'm excited for her. And she goes on a roller coaster and has a hell of a time, and the agent that's there as her bodyguard just froze up.
Did you know roller coasters might have been invented in Russia?
I did not. That's interesting.
Because I think in Russian, the name for roller coaster is American Mountain. But the word for roller coaster in other parts of Europe is Russian Mountain.
Well, yeah, so, like, it's not necessarily meandering, it's just kind of, like, letting us rest into the characters a little bit more before the ending of this issue, which is that one of Alexei's family members, I believe it's his uncle, is sent to America to kill him and his wife because the KGB has found out that they're trying to defect. And it's like, okay, that's going to be the plot of the next few issues is them evading this guy and eventually killing him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to keep reading this, honestly.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mhm.
But the next book we're going to talk about is, hey, tell me about the Mighty Morphin.
All right, Mighty Morphin number 12. This issue was actually pretty solid, but not for any of the reasons I think Ryan Parrott wanted me to enjoy it. Like, I don't
Ooh.
give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the backstory or the lore or the build up to the fucking Eltarian war that's about to happen. I like all the little character moments that are in this issue. Like, Tommy trying to lay down the law with Matt and being like, I need to make sure if we're gonna work together, I need to make sure you are being a ranger for the right reasons and you know the fucking difference between right and wrong. And then Aisha going to Billy and being like, hey, you should just apologize to Zordon. Like you should really just come clean because you guys seem like you're being really petty to each other and we all know you just want to be friends again. And then Billy does, and it's really sweet. And Zordon has no time to accept his apology because he's immediately getting visited by the leader of the Eltarian invasion. So he has to tell Billy to hide. And then we get the cliffhanger for the issue, which is Zordon's fucking tube gets smashed
Again?
again,
Again?
again.
How many times has he been smashed?
Counting this one, there's 3 times that I know of, because there's the time in the 90s movie that's not canon to the show, there's the time in Space, and then there's this.
Fuck you. Ivan News is canon.
Oh no, I love Ibanez. Uh, but then before that, there's also a really great scene of Zordon, like, teleconferencing with Zed and just being like, yo, so we've been fighting each other for thousands of years, and you never told me you're actually my old friend. Why? And he's just like, I wanted to wait until you were broken and you could actually come around to my ideology because I wanted us to be evil together. And he's like, fuck you, that was never gonna happen. And he's like, it still could. It still could. Fuck you, get out.
So it's literally a Magneto Charles moment.
Yeah, it's great. It's as much as I find intertwining their backstories that way a little grown worthy, it gave us this scene, and I like this scene.
I like the idea of Zed going like, no, I need to be evil because I want him to come to my side. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't hate Zordon because, oh, fuck Zordon. I hate Zordon because he's not my friend anymore. Just be my friend.
He wasn't my friend when I needed him to be, and now I look like this, so now I'm gonna force him to be my friend.
But overall,
Um,
good book.
Yeah, solid issue. Just one last thing. Can we please change the cover style? For the love of God, I am sick of this fucking graphic design is my passion cover style that both the Power Rangers books have had since the relaunch.
Literally, that should be the covers for the trades, not
Yeah.
for the singles. But the next comic. I read New Mutants.
Oh, what's my wife up to?
Well, her and the rest of the classic New Mutants basically gear up and go like, all right, we're dealing with him. We're dealing with the fucking, shit.
Shadow Man?
Shadow Man. We're dealing, Shadow King. We're dealing with Shadow King.
Okay.
Okay, we're dealing with him. He fucked with the kids. We weren't aware of it. He's being a piece of shit. Let's fucking go deal with it. All the while, in the B plot, Gabby and her little crew of New Mutants, because it's like 2 different teams, and I like that.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Gabby was back already. That's great.
Gabby's back.
Yeah.
Basically, her friends come back to Gabby's house and go like, hey, Gabby, we're sorry we didn't listen to you. You were right about him. Fuck him. We should have trusted you as a friend, and we're sorry for that. And she goes like, I understand. I accept your apology. And let's just move on. Let's move forward. And they're like, yes, but we also want to help the classic New Mutants with him because fuck him. And Gabby's like, okay, yeah, no, I totally agree. You can go do that. But I was told to stay here because I'm part of the whole situation and they wanted me to be safe. And they're like, okay, cool. We understand. We we wish we could do this all together as a group, but like we understand that it's raw, the issues sore, all these different kinds of things. So they leave, and Gabby goes like, "Fuck it, I'm a Logan," and goes out and goes like, "Guys, I'm going with you." No, I don't think it's the canon last name for the Logan family now, but because Logan doesn't have a last name, none of his kids really have a last name. So guess what they're called?
What?
The Snikt family.
Yes. That's brilliant.
They're called the Snikts. I just thought that was really cute.
Hi, I'm Logan Snikt. These are my daughters Laura and Gabby, and my son Dakin.
Dakin, please stop flirting with the waiter. Dakin, please stop flirting with the waitress. But we
stop flirting with that busboy.
But then we get we see what the classic New Mutants are dealing with Shadow King, and basically Shadow King's whole mindset is, I have lived through millennia, and what has made me strong was all the adversity and trauma I went through. But we're in Krakoa, which is a good thing. Krakoa is a good thing. But I do not wish to see my kind, i.e. mutants, made weak and vulnerable to the outside world. So essentially, I am torturing other mutants in order to make them more strong.
That's like what most people think Magneto is like.
Yeah, no. But like this is like that's his own mindset, and the New Mutants are going like, dude, no, Krakoa's not gonna make us weak. It's giving us a fucking place to fucking breathe so we can become stronger. And he's like, no, it's a disagreement of philosophy of what Krakoa is, which that's when the X books are at their best right now.
It's like fucking Darth Bane saying that the Sith being a massive order is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Sith not stronger together.
So the New Mutants, the Gabby crew, burst in, and we see the Shadow King having like energy leeching off all the old New Mutants' heads, and like he's in their brains, and they go like, oh no, and that's where the issue ends. It's like, oh no, what's gonna happen next?
We gotta save the teachers.
Yeah. Also, look at this fucking cover. Look how beautiful this cover is. It's so good.
It's not exactly my kind of cover, but it's a really good cover.
Oh man, but it just gets the vibe of what the book's all about, because like they're fighting up against all this fucking energy from the Shadow King, all within his head, all within his plan so far. It's good. It works.
Mm-hmm.
But no, New Mutants is good so far. It was a good book.
Sick.
But then I also read Hellions.
How is the Suicide Squad this week?
Sad.
Oh well.
They're very sad boys and gals.
So I take it Kwan doesn't have her kid back yet.
No, because the whole facility where that information was there got blew up.
Mm.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
Because remember, last issue, the no empathy dude who can control minds hijacked Havoc's brain and made the whole facility blow up.
Havoc.
Right. And like, here's the thing, he was put on the team by Emma to do just that.
Ooh.
Okay? All the while, Koan's going like, guys, we need to fucking work with Sinister. He has my kid. I want her back. Please understand. And they go like, yeah, no, Sinister's a piece of shit, and we're a little mad at you, but we completely understand, we're on board. And then everything blows up. And so this issue is just basically the fallout of this, of also Koan becoming a captain of Krakoa. And
good for her.
Yeah, that happened in a previous issue. I don't remember which one. A previous book. Not Hellions, a previous book. Wild Child is sad as fuck going to all the Hellions going like, family, friends? And they're just going like, no, get away from me, Wild Child. John Crow is basically going like, all right, they fucked over the girl I was crushing on. Fuck them. Fuck them. I'm gonna go fucking commando. I'm gonna kill some motherfuckers. And then someone goes like, yo, dude, you'll get put in the pit. I don't fucking care. They hurt the girl I was liking. Fuck them. So, legit pros to John. Havoc is fucking depressed. Of like, I feel so bad. This is shit. And he's talking to Emma, and Emma's going like, hey, I know this was a bad situation you were in. Hey, let me make it up to you. I'm gonna start talking to the council again about maybe bringing back Madeline Pryor. Really? Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll start talking to them.
I mean, we did just bring back Destiny, so that's probably on the table now.
And then Emma talks to her no empathy dude, and she goes like, "Oh, I'm sorry you had to do that to your friends." And he goes like, hey, "Dude, it's me. Remember, I don't care about anybody. I have no empathy.
Remember, I'm a bastard.
I'm a bastard." And Emma goes like, "Oh yeah, but you're my bastard. Hey, you're probably gonna want to lay low here for a bit. Have your place to have your stay of the place." As Emma walks away, we get 3 panels of the dude just slowly getting more sad and realizing what he's lost.
Oof.
Oh! And also, Nanny ran Orphan Maker away. Nanny's basically goes like, no, you've abandoned me. You are no longer my kid. You're grown up now. Leave. Go do your own thing. And Orphan Maker's going like, but Nanny... And she goes like, "No, bye. I need to take care of new children." And it's just like, oh man, it's good. Also, yeah. Sinister's not going to get punished for any of it because he's a member of the council and he can get away with it. Lol. Yeah. He's an asshole. Nah, good issue. Good issue. It's pure Hellions. I also read Excalibur.
Okay, continue.
This is a really good, like, what Excalibur is meant to be doing, which is they are the intermediary between Krakoa and Otherworld. So, like, they're just doing shit in Otherworld. They're hanging out. Betsy. Jesus Christ, where's my brain? Betsy goes to the land of vampires because there was an assassination attempt. And
are those the boys on the cover?
Yes.
They look like gay scrolls.
You're not wrong. I mean, all the vampires in that world are kind of, like, gender ambiguous.
Ah.
So you're not wrong. And she basically was like, yeah, no, this assassination attempt happened, and it was from a vampire. Got anything to say about it? And they're fucking riddle bullshit and go like, I don't fucking know. And she goes like, all right, fine, whatever. Just because, and like dealing with this whole thing is like, yeah, no, we're mutants. There's another like witch breed. The whole thing. Just because we're mutants doesn't mean we're working with Mordred. Don't worry about it. And they're like, yeah, sure, okay, sure. Just keeping that plotline going. And she talks to Death because remember, Apocalypse's kid, Death, is living in the vampire dimension right now.
I didn't remember that. When did that happen?
Like right after Ten of Swords.
Okay.
In Wolverine. But he's there, and Betsy goes to him and goes like, hey, yo, do you got any word? And he goes like, yeah, no, but don't worry, when shit happens for Krakoa and Araco, I'll be there. My dad wanted to protect it so much, there's got to be something worth here, you know? I'm on your side, don't worry. And she goes like, good, Storm said you were a noble soul. And he just goes like, Lady Storm talked about me? What did she say?
Simp! He's a simp!
It's adorable. Because he's this badass Anubis-looking motherfucker, and he's just like, Storm? Storm talked about me?
Yeah, I'm remembering this guy now.
Yeah,
Didn't they dance?
Yeah, they dance.
And she was like, I don't give a fuck about you. I've dealt with death a million times.
Oh, you just made me horny, lady. But Then we see Gambit in the middle of the bazaar. He's hawking earth goods. He's just selling them. And then Mad Jim Jaspers goes like, "Motherfucker, what are you doing selling shit without me knowing?" It's like, "I'm not selling shit. I'm just bringing things for my friends." And he goes like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Just don't do this again." And Gambit plays the Gambit card and goes like, "Hey man, no, I could bring you some tea." And Jaspers goes like, bring me tea?" And he snaps his fingers. And then we're on a palatial estate. Jaspers is sitting at a table reading a newspaper as Gambit in a maid costume is pouring him a cup of tea. As Jasper
What
goes
the
like,
fuck?
no, as Jasper goes like, "Yo, dude, I control reality. If I wanted tea, I can just make tea whenever I want. I don't need anything from you." And he put him in the maid costume to just kind of prove his point.
Hmm.
Yeah, Detective Conan does have more episodes than One Piece. One Piece is long, but it's not that long. Like, Akashi Joe? No. Hajime no Ippo has more chapters than One Piece. But we also see Jubilee talking to some of the Fae creatures about Shogo, and they're going like, "Hey, maybe Shogo's destiny is to become a dragon here in Otherworld. Maybe that's just what makes that. Maybe that's just what's gonna make him happy in the long run." And Jubilee goes like, "Yeah, maybe, but I want to be selfish and I want to be his mom for a little bit longer." And they go like, "Hey, that's not selfish, just being a mom." So they made Triss try to be getting rid of Shogo.
That's fair, honestly. Because Shogo's kind of just. Let's be honest, Shogo's just a thing somebody stuck Jubilee with because I don't know what the fuck to do with Jubilee, but she has to be in this comic.
Same reason why they turned her into a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
All the while, we see like a little crew of Richter, Shatterstar. They're back together. That's adorable. And Cypher's wife just doing shit, hanging around, getting information, cracking heads, doing all that kind of stuff. And then we end the issue with Merlin basically going up to Saturnine going like, "Y'all ain't nothing, bitch. Fucking Arthur's here. He's gonna wreck all your shit. Fuck mutants. Fuck that Captain Britain. She ain't Captain Britain. Fuck her. Right? I got fucking Arthur here. No more mutants in Avalon. We're taking this place over." And the issue ends with them starting the battle. Because Arthur basically goes like,
"You're drunk."
because basically Arthur goes like, "Yeah, no, you're a witch breed. Fuck you."
All right.
No, it's good. I like it. Hey, tell me about Jeff.
It's Jeff has been a delightful little diversion whenever I'm able to catch it. I binged issues 4 through 7 this week. Just a little fun little stories. One where Jeff goes snowboarding with the champions and accidentally breaks his toboggan. So as a replacement, he steals Captain America's shield. One where he runs through a field of flowers and accidentally ends up scaring a family that's walking through the field. So instead, he ties a bunch of flowers around himself in sort of like a wreath to make a little girl laugh. One where he's like diving, doing deep sea diving, passing all these weird random things like fucking mermaids and Namor, and eventually comes across frickin' MODOK and starts fighting him, and then we realize, oh, he was playing in a bathtub. And then the most recent one where he steals a bunch of random weapons from the Avengers so he can pretend to be a superhero.
Oh, that's
it's good. It's good, cutesy little fun.
Yeah. It's all canon.
Yeah.
Also, tell me about Last Flight Out.
Another really good issue of Last Flight Out, I thought. This, like, it's similar to Almost American, where it's going in a very predictable direction, but it's zigging where you expect it to zag just every once in a while, so it's not entirely like, I can wait for this to be made into a movie or a fucking Amazon series. Because we open up on just two more flashbacks just hammering hard hammering home super hard that this guy was not a good dad by any stretch of the imagination, because he's going to his in the first one he's going to his daughter's fucking Christmas pageant performance and ends up getting called into the office and ditches it, and he was late already, like he's clearly about to walk in just for the last number just so she can see that he was there, and he ends up not walking in because he gets called into the office. And in the second one, it's like because yeah, the first one is in 2039 and the second one is in 2045. uh he's just locked out of her room and like having a conversation with her behind the door about like just not paying any attention to her ever, and not and acting like she not treating her like an actual human, and realizing that she's smarter than just being a little girl now because she fucking changes the password on the door so he can't fucking admin unlock it. um and then we flash forward to current, where we get another example of that, because the two soldiers he's traveling with are basically like, so how the fuck we gonna find your kid now? You said she's in Chicago, but like Chicago's a shit show, and no, and like it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. And he's like, oh, I chipped her when she was 6. You chipped your daughter like she's a dog? Well, I was one of the most famous people in the world. She could have been kidnapped at any moment. Sure, dude. Uh, and they get to where the tracker is leading them to, and it turns out she just cut it out and left it in a random apartment. So they end up tracking her through one last lead they have all the way to a place called Terra Salvation, which is run by someone who it's not explicitly said, but it's basically hinted that the dad has had a long-standing rivalry with the owner of this company. And when they go in there, they find out, oh, she's one of the leading scientists for this place, and she doesn't want to leave. Like the last page is her outright refusing to leave with T minus 16 hours until the ship takes off. And then we get a sort of Hickman-esque info dump page where we see a little information about Terra Salvation, their homepage if it was an actual company with a website. And it's basically it's a company that is admirably but naively working to save the planets. Like the front page is a bunch of stock photos. We're doctors. Our patient is the planet Earth. We're working to save our home. Everyone has given up on Earth. We won't. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, once you get to a point in the story, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense, but it's not predictable. It's just a very solid sci-fi story.
All right, fair enough. At least you're liking it.
Yeah.
So I read Eternal Celestia.
All right.
It's two people who know of their existence of their god becoming atheists and not at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Ajax and Makari. And basically, Ajax is going like, well, for millennia, I was the conduit between the Eternals and the Celestials, and now they won't talk to me. And now they basically say that the Eternals have failed their mission and they're no longer needed. And I have lost faith in God, but also, like, that's the only thing I know how to do. So what do I do now? And then Makari comes in and goes like, yo, I talked to the Celestials for a little bit too. Remember Neil Gaiman's Eternals book? Yeah, no, that's a thing. So, all that. And then they go on a little adventure. And they eventually get to Jason Aaron's Avengers headquarters, which is the body of a Celestial. And they go like, why the fuck are you in the corpse of our god? And Ghost Rider comes out.
Just clowning on Jason Aaron. That's great.
And Ghost Rider comes out and goes like, yeah, no, Celestial like talked to me and said like, yeah, no, you could do this. It's cool. Someone should do it. And they're just like, motherfucker, motherfucker, Celestial ain't talking to us, and he's talking to you? Bullshit. Bullshit. Fuck you. And Makari just basically was like, nope, we're getting away from here because you're about to fucking fight Ghost Rider, and no. And it just kind of ends with, because also earlier in the issue, Ajax went like, yo, no, I fought the fucking prehistoric Avengers. Because that's a thing, remember? And
Damn it.
and I let them live and did all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the book, she goes like, no, fuck them. There's one thing I should have done to the Avengers back then, and it was kill them. And it's just like, oh. And the next issue, the cover of the next issue has all the hero Eternals that we know, Icarus, all them, kneeling at Thanos.
Ooh.
Because that's kind of like the big thing of the last message the Celestials gave was like, the Eternals, the Deviants, the humans, and all will live together in harmony. Like, you don't need to fight Deviants anymore. That kind of thing. So we're trying, it's figuring out what's going on. This is multiple miniseries to establish what the Eternals are to be going forward in Marvel.
Oddly enough, this does have a very Neil Gaiman feel to it. Like it low key kind of reminds me of American Gods.
Yeah, it's a very Marvel-y version of that. Then I also read Tech on Avengers #3.
Oh god, that book's still happening.
Yep. Very basic idea. A Mecha Loki starts attacking. The Avengers go to fight him. They get all blasted with fucking confusion rays, so they start attacking each other. And then Sunfire.
Wait. They literally hurt themselves in their confusion.
Yes, they fight each other. And then Sunfire comes in with his power suit, helps save the day. And they all go like, all right, cool. Backstory for why Sunfire's here. Character conflict of like Tony going like, why didn't you tell us about it? And it's like, I didn't want you to know if in case it failed. And it's like, Tony, we're working together. We don't fucking care. All this kind of stuff. Yeah, it was solid. It's a fun, action-y romp. That's what it is. With some neat designs. Also, the Sunfire mecha design, the robot suit, reminded me of Jack Q. The Red Ranger and Jack Q.
Oh, Jacker, you mean?
It's JAKQ.
Yeah, but the fucking show pronounces it Jacker, so I've always said Jacker, and I've heard other people say Jacker.
Well,
not saying you're pronouncing it wrong, I've just never heard that pronunciation before.
I pronounce it the way it's fucking written.
Yeah, I know. It's not your fault that fucking the Mobirat says Jacker.
They can go fucking jacker off.
Also, I think that that particular suit is called Spade-Lace.
Actually, hold on. I can show you real quick. Hold on. Boop boop boo. Boop 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 boo. Boop boom. Boom bap. Bizzity baps. Do you hear the baps?
I hear the baps.
Yeah, no, here's the suit I'm talking about. Just give it a second on the stream so you can see what it is. It's on stream, by the way.
Yeah. I'm watching for it.
Because it is the most Toku ass of any of these suits so far.
I mean, that makes sense. Isn't Sunfire Japanese?
Yes, that's why he's here.
Okay. Oh yeah, that looks very Sentai. Actually, I'd say that head reminds me a lot of fucking what's his name? The red from Battle Fever J.
That may be who I was thinking of more. That's what I was thinking of, Battle Fever J. I was wrong.
I'm trying to find the red's name now, because that's gonna bug me.
Isn't he Captain Japan?
No, I don't think any of them are called Captain something. I know the red is I know the pink is called Miss America.
Because isn't the one from Russia Captain Kazakh?
Oh, he's just Battle Japan. They're all Battle. Okay, so it's Battle Japan, Battle Cossack, Battle France, Battle Kenya, and Miss America.
Nice. I read Defenders, issue number 3.
How's that going for you?
This is a Betty focused issue.
Yay.
Because they're in a world of pure magic. So Doctor Strange is going like, guys, I am trying to hold a lid on all this shit, and I'm having trouble. So fuck us, I guess. And basically, any science is not working. Like, anything they have on their person that's science-based doesn't work. So Nebula... Not Nebula. Nova. You know who I'm talking about. Girl at the bottom. Not girl. Non-binary character on the bottom. There's a specific reason I'm saying that. It can't transform back into a gaseous state because that's more of a science-based ability. However, the Phantom Stranger can't... Not Phantom Stranger. God damn. I am just not good with names tonight.
I guess so.
You know who I'm talking about. The dude with the mask.
Yeah, fucking Pulp Boy.
Can still fire his guns because the guns are also symbolic. And symbolism works as a magic.
So his secret identity is Matthew Buck?
But, no, isn't Nebula? I said, want to think it's Nebula, but, Nebula is also another character, and I don't think they do that. Cloud. Their name's Cloud.
Okay.
Cloud. So basically, all throughout the issue, Betty is kind of being the MVP, because on some level, the Hulk is kind of magic. Hulk power is kind of magic. With the green door and everything.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, it's been that way for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, here's the neat little bit where they basically go like, okay, Cloud, their origin is that a cosmic cube turned a Nebula sentient, and they used the mind profiles of a couple that just a random dude and girl. So they did something cool here, where Cloud says, "Don't worry about me. Even stuck in this body, I'm still a defender, and I prefer they to she."
Oh.
So basically, go like, this character makes sense to be non-binary. Let's make him non-binary.
Yeah.
And there's a cute thing of Betty going like, "I'll remember. Don't worry. We're in battle, but we're gonna fucking respect each other." And basically, they do all that. They fight the dude who basically invented magic, and they use Betty's body.
Fucking Claremont up in this shit?
What?
You said it's the dude who invented magic, so I'm like, oh, Chris Claremont's in this comic.
Fuck off. Magic with a C. So they use Betty's body to summon the green door, and they get transported to the dimension before the one they're in. So they were in the 616. Then the dimension before that was the one from Galen's from. Then the one before that, which is the magic one. And now they're in this one, which it's printed like it's a comic from the 60s. And it's full, and it has like this character who looks like the Hulk, but with 4 heads on its body, with each of them speaking in a color and having an emotion. And like you look at the cover for next one, and it looks like we're just in a world of abstract ideas.
So this is very, very Ditko core, huh?
It's Ditko-y, but it's also like, hold on, look at the stream in a second. And
I'm looking at it. I can see it.
Okay, you see what they are, right? They are the core concepts of heroism from Marvel. You have a Hulk, you have a Spider-Man. Right up there on the top left is a Captain America. Right to the right of him is an Iron Man. You have a Daredevil, an Ant-Man, a Thor,
Well, how about that?
an Invisible Woman, one part of four.
Hmm.
We're in a world of abstract conceptualization of heroism. It's fucking weird. It's my kind of
It's
shit.
it's fucking Kirby on LSD.
It's what if Kirby and Grant Morrison worked together to make a book?
This book is the most fucking Boingo core thing that's ever been published. I swear to God.
Yeah. Also, there's this woman in the background, and she has rockets all over her. I think that's Captain Marvel.
Nice.
Yeah, no. Yeah, see, here's Ant-Man.
Oh, hi, Ant-Man.
And a blind devil who is a wielder of justice. Like, it's fucking weird. It's wild, and I'm digging it. I am digging it.
Yeah.
So hey, Vac, what'd you think of Dark Ages this week?
I liked Dark Ages until we got to Iron Man.
I liked Iron Man.
I didn't necessarily hate the concept of Iron Man. It's just like, okay, so the thing is, I was enjoying seeing this, uh, A, how we got to the new status quo, and B, getting to live in the post-apocalyptic, everybody's working together status quo. I just enjoyed getting to see that for a few minutes, and then the comic went, all right, you've had your fun, now it's time for the plot. And I went, but I don't want to do the plot.
But you gotta do the plot, and besides, it's a Tom Taylor plot. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Which also fucking this comic features Tom Taylor getting to write Gabby again, which is wonderful, even if it's only for one page.
Yeah. I like.
Who's the redheaded woman with them?
Hold on, let me look.
Because it's Laura, Gabby, Blade, and a redheaded woman I didn't recognize.
It's probably a Summers.
Mm.
It's at the so I see Laura talking to a soldier. I love how Deadpool is part of the recruitment of the city states.
Yeah.
Like they were like, nah, Deadpool's cool. We can help. We can use Deadpool.
Yeah, that opening bit of just everybody being like, put down your arms and be fucking nice to each other. It's gonna be okay. That was one of those like uber wholesome superhero moments that you're like, this is cheesy, but it's hitting me in the right place.
It's Elsa Bloodstone.
That name rings a bell, but I don't know
She's the
why.
world's greatest monster hunter.
Okay.
They're fighting werewolves and vampires. Of course, she's there.
All right, yeah, that makes sense.
Um, but they're all working together. It's not. I like a lot of the vibes. I like how Tony was like, "All right, cool. I can't use science. Fuck it, alchemy."
Yeah. And fucking Matt and Foggy just chilling in one of the watchtowers.
Ah, it's so good. Oh man, it's really fun. It's really cool. Like,
And then I can't believe it's not Steve shows up.
yeah, that's Dracula. It was Dracula.
Yeah.
Dracula.
Or no,
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 that
it was
was Steve.
it's
That is Steve. Oh yeah,
It's
Mystique.
Mystique disguised as Steve.
Yeah,
And they kidnap Tony, and Apocalypse is like, "Yo, the big powerful thing from the first issue. I want that shit." And it's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Every Apocalypse up until literally a year ago was a big swinging dickhead Darkseid ripoff." Nice.
yeah. But for this, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And what if Tom Taylor plays with those? Like, oh, I want to use it so I can break into Rocco and get my wife.
Hopefully that's where we go with it. Hopefully Genesis just comes in and is like, "Fucking stop, dickhead."
I also like the use of Kilgrave.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Uh,
Fucking wearing a big ass suit.
yeah. There's a lot of fun things to see in this whole thing. I
Yeah.
appreciate that Spider-Man goes like, yeah, no, I'm the alarm system. I'm the guy making sure everything works right.
Yeah. And training little baby Mayday like it's a fucking Naruto episode.
Goddamn. Like, I love how they utilize everybody's abilities of like, oh, all the different people work together, all the psychics work together and like keep a track on everybody.
Yeah.
I like how Doctor Doom is like, no, no, I'm helping. Oh, Forge is there.
Yeah.
It just works really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out where Peter and his family end up. Is it Wakanda?
Let me see if I can find a location real quick. I think it's meant to be the same place as the first telepath we see, which is Professor X, and he says Brazil.
Possibly. But I enjoy like it's all these like people who are going like, oh no, all these peaceful people that we expect to go like there needs to be a better way, and then just Deadpool.
Yeah. It's a consummate Tom Taylor comic in that it's doing really wholesome, really cool shit that's playing with the entire universe at once, and you're like, this is amazing, but it will never happen in a main continuity.
Shame that Clint died.
Yeah.
At least Taskmaster's dead. At least he got Taskmaster.
With his last breath, I stab at thee.
But no, I like it. I like all the costumes,
Mm-hmm.
all the things. It's good.
It's definitely not my aesthetic as far as the costumes go, but I can appreciate it.
It's post-apocalyptic without diving into the traditional post-apocalyptic tropes
Mm-hmm.
in terms of costuming.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of weird that frickin' Miles and Sue are on the cover, but they're not anywhere in this issue.
Yeah,
Like, I think Sue gets name checked, but she's not in the actual issue.
yeah, she gets name checked when Tony's talking to Reed,
Yeah.
which I don't know. Can't remember if Reed was actually under the control of Kilgrave or not.
They don't say it in that exact moment, but I think it's implied by Kilgrave making Tony comply that he's making everyone comply.
Yeah, but in the meantime, yo, about that Spider-Man though.
Spider-Man! Fuck, it's good.
It's good.
It's really damn good, and it has no actual right to be, I'd say, with this premise.
Come on, Ben
Like,
Riley's cool.
no, Ben Riley's cool. It's just hilarious that, like, however many years later since the Clone Saga, they're finally doing the thing Ben Riley was originally meant to do, and it's welcomed as a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. But I really like how it was. Like, Ben Riley came up to Peter and was like, hey, through a bunch of legal shenanigans, I'm going to be Spider-Man. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love that half this fucking comic is just panels of them talking in a restaurant.
Yeah. And, like, Peter's okay with it. And then Ben just goes like, yeah, and even if you were, I'm just going to do it anyway. Fuck you. And Peter goes like, okay, fine. You don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah. And the moment where Peter's spider sense gets him to stop somebody from stealing a tip. Oh, that was great. It was a great little moment.
Yeah. It's like, come on, dude. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm. And like, honestly, probably the most relatable Spider-Man's ever been to me as an adult. In the fucking moment where he goes back to the apartment and he tells Mary Jane about his day, and she says, Peter, at some point you're gonna have to stop for 5 minutes and process everything that's happened. You know that, right? And there's just a silent panel, and then he goes, I guess, but not today, and goes back out as Spider-Man. It's like, fuck, I've done that a lot.
Yeah. But then Peter and Ben start fighting the UFOs, which I love how they no big fucking dick measuring contests. Like, all right, cool, we're fighting together, sweet.
Mm-hmm. But by no fault of their own, Peter still gets fucking mooked because he doesn't have a cyber suit.
Yeah, and Ben's going like, yeah, no, we're Ben and Peter, we got the same shit. And he goes like, yeah, no, I'm cool, I can breathe through the air. And he's like, oh no, Peter can't. Fuck.
Yeah, and I looked at previews for next week. I think they might be actually taking Peter off the table.
I don't think they're killing Peter. I think Peter's going to be very, very sick for a very long while to the point where he can't do anything.
Hmm.
Because remember, Peter was also about to say something like, "Oh man, I got something." What if Peter has cancer?
That could be interesting.
Because
But
think,
I took that whole fight scene where he gets mooked as just like, oh, one of the UFOs gave him radiation poisoning or something.
but that my thought process behind that is, um, flippity flopping. Uh, what was I about to say? He basically goes like, no. What I'm saying is, Spider-Man has a history of giving people cancer with Spider-Man Rain.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be interesting to see that kind of be the end point of like, yeah, no, Spider Sense warned me, but inside the danger's inside.
Yeah.
That's what made me think of like, oh, maybe he's sick and he needs to heal up and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But then you have the panels of fucking Ben calling Aunt May and MJ, and that makes me think it's more well, that's what made me think, oh, death.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna kill him. Too many people will be too upset about killing him.
I mean, they've killed him before and he's gotten better, so
Yeah, I don't know. I really
I don't
enjoyed
know.
it though. I also enjoyed the little flashback with Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Well, Uncle Ben.
Yeah, that's good. I fucking love Patrick Gleason's art, honestly. Like, who? It's super obvious in hindsight, but man, I never would have guessed he'd be such a great Spider-Man artist.
I love how he makes Ben and Peter look exactly the same, but just distinct enough.
Hmm.
Like they look like brothers, and it's great.
Yeah, like fucking if they were actual brothers in a real family, it would be like Ben is the uber successful brother that the parents love, and Peter's the brother who's doing okay for himself, but nobody really pays attention to him because he's just doing okay for himself.
Yeah, but that's a good vibe.
Hmm.
Also, like how like they're just getting fucking treated really good, and the parallel between Ben's gal and MJ.
Yeah, Jeannie, I believe
Yeah,
Ben's gal is called.
Genie.
Hmm. And can confirm, yes, she's MJ with facial features I like.
Because here's the thing, it's a different era of like what is hot. Because MJ was
Hmm.
created at the era of like soft features equals beauty, and she was like, no, harsh, sharp features are attractive. So it's like it's just a difference in vibe.
Hmm. And to be honest, I do like both. It's just the harsh kind of edges out for me.
Yeah.
Mm. It's a really good start. I'm looking forward to seeing where we go next week.
I also like how they Ben and Peter immediately got into a comedy routine of like, hey, we're just gonna bounce jokes off each other. Fuck it.
Yeah. I love the whole the just mission statement of like, yeah, I get it. You have all that power and responsibility, but I have those fucking memories too. So we have to work together.
And Peter's not like going like, no, fuck you. It's like, fuck, you're right. God. Yeah, all right, cool. I'll get used to it. We'll deal with it.
Yeah. And that's character growth on Peter's part, you know? Peter has come a long way from that whiny little asshole who happened to get powers.
Yeah. Only way to make it better. Only way to make it better. Hey, hey. I want Kane to show up and go like, hey guys, what's up? Let's be bros. Let's all be triplets. Let's just be
Hmm.
brothers.
And and fucking what's her name, the sister comes back and she's just like, "What happened? Why are there three of you now?"
We're clones, but think
I
of
don't
us as
care. We have
brothers.
to go shoot some dudes.
And Kane just goes like, shoot some dudes. Yeah, let's go shoot some dudes. Kane, no. Ben, you don't have a leg to stand on. You were the fucking jackal for a bit. Hey, it was only about a month.
And Miles is like, I suddenly feel way better about my life.
And then Eddie comes in and goes like, you shouldn't. You have a lot of life to live. Aren't you only 30?
Eddie's the fucking whistler of the team.
Oh man, no. Miles and Eddie's son need to be friends.
Yeah, that should happen.
They should be good friends. And then like they're teaming up together, Venom and Spider-Man, and Peter and Eddie just look at each other and go like, Jesus fucking Christ, time moves forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then little Normie gets good Carnage powers.
Oh god.
It becomes a good Red Goblin.
I feel like at this point we're just writing like a Dark Ages like fan fiction.
Fuck yeah, why not? Fuck it.
What if all the characters we liked were happy in a weird future? That's every Tom Taylor book.
Yeah, except Nightwing. You're like a Nightwing.
No, Nightwing's current continuity, though he is still bending continuity and doing a lot of fanficky things, like fucking giving Dick Grayson a sister.
I mean, that's just comics.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think that's bad. That's just like, oh, Tom Taylor, you're so you.
Timothy Tommy. But yeah, no, that's all the comics we read this week. Overall, you think it was a good week in comics?
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty solid.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, while you're kind of spieling about what you do, I'm going to look up what the first episode of the series we're going to be talking about, which we'll talk about in a second. Tell people.
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make videos right here on YouTube.com. You can check them out by going to YouTube.com and putting a /C/The Vacuuminator, which is spelled THEVACUUMINATOR after that. And you can go down and subscribe to my channel and watch all the great videos I do. I'm trying to get new stuff out, but priorities have recently shifted. So it might be end of the month to mid-November before I get something new out. Just bear with me. And in the meantime, you can check out anything and everything else I want to talk about by following me at The Vacuuminator on Twitter.com.
All right, hold on. Before we go any further, I just need to go to the bathroom, so why don't you try and entertain the audience for a little bit? I can't hold it. I've been trying to.
Okay,
I'm
fantastic. Sorry. What else can I talk about? What else came out this week? What is going on? What is bipping and bopping and hipping and hopping in the world of them four-color funnies? Oh shit, I am pretty behind on Wayne Family Adventures at this point. I should probably catch up on that at some point. I'm not going to do that live on the podcast, but I will talk about, because we neglected to talk about it purposefully because I don't know how much Boingo really has to say about it. But Wayne Family Adventures is getting a YouTube adaptation, an official YouTube adaptation by the Death Battle guys, who are owned by Rooster Teeth, which is owned by Warner Brothers, which also owns DC. So that's why that's happening. And Yoshida Sudarso got cast as Nightwing in that. So, good for him. I think he's a pretty solid pick for the role, just going off of his personality. And he was campaigning to get the role in Suffing for a long time. And I like him from Power Rangers, so good for him. That being said, I'm not super optimistic about the series as a whole because it's the Death Battle guys who are known for making action shorts, making comedy shorts. I don't know how into that idea I am. And also just like I've never been super into that YouTube fan film aesthetic that channels like Death Battle and Bat in the Sun tend to have. But I'm not gonna sit here and say it's going to be bad. I'm gonna say I'm not particularly excited, but I do hope it turns out well because more wholesome Bat family content making its way and getting popular is what's going to lead to us eventually, hopefully, ousting and purging the cringy, try-hard dickheads who want everything DC to be dark and gritty, which is ultimately what I want. I want DC to go back to being my wholesome superhero paradise, please and thank you. That's the DC I grew up on, and I miss it so much. I really do. Not saying you can't tell dark and gritty stories in the DC universe. It's just like, my DC universe is the Timverse. As far as that goes, I love fucking Justice League Unlimited, and Justice League Unlimited could be pretty dark at times, but it could also be very wholesome and had a lot of really cool, sort of interesting, happy character arcs running through it. And that's a lot of why I got into superheroes, is the stuff that show did, which unfortunately is not entirely true to the comic book versions of that character or those characters.
Yo, I'm back. I just couldn't think. That's the thing.
Well, that's a regular problem for you, so I'm not accepting that as a valid excuse.
So, you tell everybody where the information you need to tell them?
Yeah.
I'll go through my thing real quick. Hey, howdy. I'm Chris Boingo Ryder Gaston. I make a variety of content on the internet. If you want my video essays and editorials, they are on youtube.com at Boingo Ryder. The channel is Boingo Ryder. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Boingo_Ryder. Instagram, Boingo_Ryder. And if you want to see me stream on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Boingo Ryder. And I got the info for the thing we're doing, which in between times of MCU projects, we were trying to figure out what we do to kind of fill the gaps. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to watch and review every single episode of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes as we get to them, with the first ones being Breakout Part 1 and 2. I figure we should do two-parters together in one episode.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, also, like, it's going to take us a fucking long time to go through this show, because it's, 3 or 4 seasons?
It's 2.
And, okay.
It's only 2 episodes.
That's not too bad, but, like, still, there's a lot of MCU releases coming in the next year, so it's not like we're going to be constantly talking about this show.
No, but the first 2 episodes are Breakout Part 1 and 2.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm vaguely looking forward to that, because I've only seen snippets of that show from back when it aired, and I remember liking it, but not liking it enough to be like, I need to be on this shit.
True. But I think the best equivalent to think about it, this is Marvel's equivalent to the Justice League cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, I saw Chris McFeely was doing a rewatch of it a few weeks ago, and he tweeted something like, apparently, he found it really annoying that show gets to a point where they just stop adapting classic storylines and start doing events from the last few years up until that show came out. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, considering I haven't read any of that shit.
I mean, I remember they did Secret Invasion, which is a good story.
Mm-hmm.
So. Right. And there's a whole episode on Beta Ray Bill. Come on.
All right.
Nothing wrong with that.
So
we're going to be watching Breakout Part 1 and Part 2 for Earth's Mightiest Heroes. See you next week, folks. Do you have anything else we need to talk about?
I hope Magic appears in that show at some point.
I think she has a cameo.
Yeah!
Enough said.